The pilot maneuvers the plane by changing the control surfaces. The pilot controls the ailerons by turning a yoke or stick to the right or left. The pilot controls the elevators by pushing the yoke or stick forward and back. The pilot controls the rudder with the foot pedals. Your controls may be slightly different depending on your simulator. Next, we will look at what to expect of the cockpit instruments during a takeoff, turn, and landing. Before takeoff, airspeed is 0 knots. Attitude indicator has wings lined up with the horizon. Altimeter shows the altitude of the airport. When the throttle is engaged, the plane accelerates forward and its speed increases. When the speed reaches the necessary speed for liftoff, the pilot pulls gently on the yoke, controlling the elevators, and the plane goes up. Note the needle on the vertical speed indicator and the position of the wings on the attitude indicator. If you pull back on the yoke too much, you can put your plane in a stall. A stall is when your plane loses lift. Without lift, the plane goes down. The altimeter shows an increase in the airplane's altitude. Next, we will see how the instruments are used and change during a turn. In this example, the pilot will demonstrate a 180-degree turn, initially heading straight west, then turning east to line up with the airport runway. The airplane is level with a speed a little over 90 knots. Watch the plane begin to turn by observing the attitude indicator and the turn coordinator. At this point in the turn, the heading indicator shows the plane pointing south. The attitude indicator shows the plane angled with one wing in the brown and one wing in the blue. The vertical speed indicator shows the plane descending. The pilot continues through the turn, watching for the heading to align eastward and keeping an eye out for the runway. The pilot has straightened out the plane so the wings are aligned with the horizon and the plane is headed east. Next, we will see how the instruments are used and changed during the airplane's landing. The pilot maneuvers the plane to align with the runway. The pilot will descend in steps. It is important for the nose to be up at landing to prevent a crash. Notice the position of the wings in the attitude indicator. The airplane is angled toward the ground. The vertical speed indicator needle is below 0, and the altimeter also shows decreasing altitude. Watch the attitude indicator to see the pilot level the plane to be parallel to the ground just prior to touchdown. The airspeed at landing should be similar to the airspeed at takeoff. The plane is rolling on the runway, and the pilot applies the ground brakes to bring the plane to a stop.